Hi guys, this is Mikael from Opeth and you're listening to The Age of Metal.
Hey guys, this is also with the Age of Metal. I have here Mikael Akerfeldt of Opeth. How's it going, man?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. How's the heat?
It's warm. It's very warm.
Not like Sweden.
No, we don't have this heat in Sweden. I mean, probably, back in the 80s it might get up to 30 degrees, but that was once in 10 years.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's about 100 something here. Yeah. So let's just talk about this tour. This tour is it's a laid back tour because it's just you and Katatonia pretty much. Best friends. Kind of best buddies and in the two bands. Did you guys do during the tour any antics, Chito, any pulling pranks during?
Yeah, actually quite a few.
All right.
They haven't responded yet, but Martin Mendes, our bass player, he loves firecrackers. So we've been throwing firecrackers in their bus at them, at their crew, and we also bought one of these compressed gas kind of horns that's been used quite a lot. And we were told off once by their front of house sound guy. He was really angry. But I'm sure more firecrackers to come. It's mostly Martin Mendes. I'm an accomplice, but
he's a pyrotechnic.
He is the instigator.
You guys actually played. I think it was the first. I'm not sure if it was the first date or one of the few dates. You played the New England Metal and Hardcore show festival. How was that?
It was okay. We played there many times. We played there on our own. We played that festival before. I think it's just shitloads of bands.
Right.
So it's a lot of waiting around. We went on last, so we had to sit around pretty much all day, and it's quite noisy. Not saying anything about the music; it's just loud all the time. You know. But it went well. I think it was. It's a nice little festival.
Right.
Like I said, shitloads of bands. Didn't really know that many other bands on the bill, but I don't keep up to date with what's happening in the scene too much these days. But obviously, we had Katatonia there that we know, and Dillinger was there, so we said hi to them, and that was about it.
You on one of the days also you also played with Steven Wilson. Actually, it was you, Steven Wilson, and Katatonia. How was that? What was that show about?
Show was great. I was quite excited to see Steve. I mean, Steve is one of my good friends, so it's good to see him. I've never seen his band either, so it was nice to meet those people. And I only saw 3 songs from the side, and it sounded perfect. So the venue wasn't that good, to be honest. It was like a pool hall type of venue in upstate New York, Albany, I think it was, and not ideal for a show like that. But it was a lot of people there, and all 3 bands went down well, I thought. So it was good.
What's your favorite thing to do on tour?
Sleep, I think. Sleep and drink wine.
How do you prepare for every show that you do? Do you guys have a special kind of band ritual that you do before the show?
No, we shake hands. That's about it. When the intro starts rolling, we shake hands, and you can't shake hands before the intro starts rolling.
Right.
So we're always listening. We got the in-ear monitors, So you hear it's usually me and Mendes looking at each other is that the intro? Because you can barely hear it in the beginning because it fades up through the noise of the crowd. And many times I've been going to shake his hand and he go because he can't hear the intro. So it's that's the only ritual, so to speak. I kind of warm up my voice in a toilet somewhere, play a little bit of guitar, and but no, we don't drink before the shows. We don't pretty boring like that. We don't really have much going on. Shake hands.
Sounds good. For this tour, actually, you chose to bring back the heavier material from your past. Was this because of the, I guess you can say, backlash of like some fans saying, I don't want to hear all that. I don't want to hear all the clean stuff. I want to hear some of the heavy stuff.
No, it was always meant for us to kind of bring those songs back. A lot of people misunderstood that with the first tour that we did, thinking that we had deserted our past or whatever,
right.
But that was never our intention. It's just that we wanted to promote the new record. It's a special record for us. It's a special record in our discography, and we wanted to play a lot of songs. We were really happy with that album, so we wanted to play a lot of songs from it and pick songs from our past that fit together with those songs. But we're touring so much, so we're always revolving songs, and we did a similar tour in Europe. Where we basically played a lot of heritage material and some other songs that kind of fit together with those songs. But after those two tours, Australia we did too, same thing. And after those two tours, we had a tour here with Mastodon and Ghost, then we started to blend some of the more heavier songs. And festivals were all, a mix. So I think people misunderstood us a little bit.
Right.
We started playing some of the heavy songs, again pretty soon after the first tour run.
I read in recent interviews that you're already sort of in the process of writing new material for the new album. What can we expect so far from this album so far that you have? I mean, do you feel like it's going to go into like more of a heavier? You go back to the heavy material, or?
I don't like to think of going back to something that you've done before. So I don't know really. Like, I only have a couple of ideas, so I'm not sure where it's taking me at this point. But it would be the wrong move for us to go back to something that we've done in the past because we think it might please the fans. We always based, like, our, whatever you call it, success has always been based on us doing what we want to do. So I guess that's what we're going to continue doing. But if it happens that I write a lot of heavy songs, I have some heavy songs already, but if I write a lot of like really heavy songs that everybody likes, then that's what the next album is going to be. But we'll never be one of those bands thinking that we need to make up for mistakes. Right. If you know what I mean? Heritage is my favorite record. It's the favorite record of everyone in the band. But we don't want to repeat that album either. We always want to move forward. So I think like it might be a little bit heavier. The heritage songs are really an acquired taste. I think they're very, very complex songs. And a lot of people didn't understand that record, but some people, a lot of people who comes to the shows and they absolutely seem to love that album. So, but I'm not sure what we're doing. It's going to be a mix of whatever.
What inspires you to make the music that you do?
Other music, I guess, or mood swings. Negativity can inspire me a little bit, but mostly it's other forms of music. I don't really know. It's not like I listen to a record that I like and then I immediately write a song.
Right.
It's it's a need I have, which I kind of realized myself only in later years, because I figured that if nobody pushes me, I won't write because I'm too lazy or something. But soon enough I find myself going down to the studio and all of a sudden I have some music going on. So I think it's something that's such a big part of me. It happens on its own.
For a vocalist that does both clean and growling vocals, is it difficult to switch between the two, live?
No, it's not really difficult. I had we've been touring so much, so I had some, I wouldn't say problems, but I was singing in a different way for some time. When I started using the in-ear monitors, it's like you hear yourself so you're right there, you know. So
a whole new level.
Yeah, so I kind of started changing my technique to the worst. It really my voice took a strain, and it didn't sound as good as I used to do. But now I'm getting used to the in-ear monitors, and I'm pushing my vocals further down to the deep type of stuff, which I think that's when I sound the best.
Right.
And I've been I'm not pushing the screams as much as I initially did when I had the in-ears. My technique is basically based on keeping, kind of taking a step back and not pushing your vocals. That's when it sounds the best.
Right.
So now, now my voice is in pretty good form, I think, And initially when I started tour, after four or five shows, voice gets worn. But once I get over that, it's like it will last for the rest of the tour.
Right.
With somewhat varied results. Sometimes I don't sing good, it's just the way it is. But
yeah, it makes sense. What would you say is the best show that you have seen or that you have played?
Well, funny you should say that. The one time that everyone in the band, it was a couple of years back, so I'm not sure what lineup it was, but here in Arizona, in Tempe, we played a show.
Oh, okay.
It's once or twice, the whole band has gotten off stage thinking that was a fucking fantastic show. And that happened in Tempe. And it's so, like I said, 2 shows in how many shows we've done ever, so that was one of my favorite shows for us. But shows I've been to, there's been a lot of good shows, like, depends, when I was a teenager, going to see Iron Maiden and Priest and stuff like that obviously was a big experience, a massive experience for me. But the one that comes to mind is Heart, the band Heart. I saw them live at the Sweden Rock Festival. Oh. And I knew about them, I knew some of the hit songs, especially the 80s songs, and I was like, I kind of like it, but I was never, like a massive Heart fan. Then I saw them play, and Ann Wilson, she was singing, so it was so good. It was midday, I hadn't had a drop of alcohol. It was just like, wow, it was fucking amazing, that show. And they did some old songs too. They have a song called Mistral Wind, which is just like a magic song, and from the Dog and Butterfly album, and they also did that song Dog and Butterfly. So it was I became a massive fan of them, obsessed with them for a while. So that's one of my favorite shows. Roger Waters' The Wall in Stockholm.
Yeah.
Made me cry. It was so good.
I bet, yeah. What are your plans after this tour?
We have a festival like 6 days after we come back home. So, and then throughout the summer we have a few, not many, but a few festivals that we're doing, and then it's like holiday and that kind of stuff, and writing.
Any last words you want to say to our readers and listeners here in the Age of Metal?
Thank you. Bad with those things. I don't know what to say.
Thank you, Mikael.
Thank you.